You think Goliath was the ultimate giant. Think again. Hidden in plain sight within sacred text is a colossus so massive, so terrifying, that his story was deliberately obscured. This is not just a tale of physical stature, it's a cosmic secret that reveals why certain truths were buried. What you're about to discover will rewrite everything you know about biblical giants and the forces that shaped our world. Are you ready to meet the one they never teach you? For centuries, the story of David and Goliath has been told as the ultimate underdog victory, a narrative so ingrained it feels like bedrock truth. But what if that bedrock is cracked? What if Goliath, at 6 cubits in a span, was merely a distraction from a far more colossal being whose name has been whispered only in forbidden scrolls? You're about to enter a vault of suppressed scripture where the real Titan waits. His name is Og, king of Bashan, and his bed of iron measured 9 cubits, 13.5 feet of cold, hard evidence that Goliath was not the biggest. Why don't you know him? Because Og is a remnant of the Nephilim, offspring of the Watchers who fell from heaven, a lineage so dangerous it threatened to unravel divine order. The keepers of orthodoxy feared his story, so they minimized it to a footnote. But the evidence survived. In desert caves, in clandestine manuscripts, the full truth persisted, and now you're accessing it. You were made for this truth. You sense it, that ache for the whole story, the gaps in Sunday school lessons that demand filling. This journey will take you into celestial rebellions and hybrid beings. But first, you must understand the world that bred such giants, a world where angels crossed boundaries and chaos was born. If something in you recognizes this truth and you want more revelations like this, leave a comment and stay with this story until the end. Your reaction tells me to keep opening these doors for you. Now, step into the antediluvian age, where the seeds of this mystery were sown in shadow. Picture a world before the flood, a pristine earth where humanity walked in innocence and angels watched from the heavens. Then rupture. Genesis 6:2 whispers, "The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose." These sons of God are the Watchers, celestial beings assigned to guard humanity. But they descended to Mount Hermon, swore a pact, and took human wives. This was no love story, it was cosmic treason. Their offspring were the Nephilim, giants, heroes of old, men of renown, hybrid beings of celestial and terrestrial blood. With strength and stature that defied nature, the earth groaned under their violence. Corrupted by forbidden knowledge, the Watchers taught magic, warfare, secrets of heaven turned to ruin. God saw this and regretted creation. But why? What was so perilous about these giants? They represented a blurring of divine and human realms, a contamination that threatened the very fabric of creation. This is the hidden context. This is the world that bred Og and his kind. The Bible only hints. For the full story, you must turn to books exiled from the canon, books like Enoch, which detail the Watchers' fall. They didn't want you to know, because knowing this changes everything about sin, redemption, and the nature of evil. It reveals a cosmic scandal buried under millennia of silence. Now consider, if the Nephilim were so terrible, how did some survive the flood? The answer will shock you, and it ties directly to Og's massive frame. The cosmic architecture was clear: heaven and earth, separate realms, with angels as mediators. But when the Watchers fell, they breached that boundary, bringing heavenly secrets to earth with malevolent intent. The Nephilim were not just physical giants, they were spiritual abominations, disruptions in the created order. Their existence threatened the plan of salvation itself. God's response was the flood, a reset to cleanse the earth. Yet Genesis 6:4 says there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. After that? How? The mystery deepens.
The Book of Enoch suggests the spirits of dead Nephilim became demons, but physically, some giants survived through Noah's lineage or other means. The Bible mentions post-flood giants, the Anakim, the Rephaim tribes in Canaan that Israel had to conquer. Og is a Rephaim, a king of Bashan, a living relic of the pre-flood world. His size was a testament to enduring corruption. Why is this suppressed? Because it shows the flood didn't fully erase the Watcher's sin. The struggle continued. The Promised Land was inhabited by giants, and every battle was an echo of a larger cosmic war. You were made for this truth, to see that the physical conflicts in Scripture mirror spiritual realities. The evidence survived in every mention of giants, but the full truth is darker. What if these giants were key players in a divine drama? Stay with me. The rupture is coming, and it will explain why Og's name was buried. The rupture happened on Mount Hermon. 200 watchers, led by figures like Semjaza and Azael, descended and took human wives. This was conquest, not love.
They corrupted humanity, teaching forbidden arts and birthing the Nephilim. The earth cried out under their violence. God's judgment was swift. The Watchers imprisoned in Tartarus, the Nephilim destroyed in the flood. But apocryphal texts like Enoch reveal that their spirits remained, becoming demons that haunt the earth. The Bible confirms parts. Jude references Enoch, and Peter speaks of angels who sinned cast into hell. This rupture scarred heaven and defiled earth. Og's massive size is a living monument to that sin. He is a direct result of this celestial rebellion. Yet in Deuteronomy, he's just a king defeated by Moses. Why the minimization? Because his story opens Pandora's box. His bed, 9 cubits, tells of a giant among giants, a symbol of the Watcher's legacy. They didn't want you to know. If you knew, you'd question why books were banned, stories trimmed. The evidence survived, and you're piecing it together. But the aftermath is more devastating. How did giants reappear after the flood? The truth unravels assumptions. Some survived through Noah's wife or other means, carrying Nephilim genes. Og's rule in Bashan, a land of giants, points to this continuity. His defeat by Moses was symbolic, overcoming chaos, but suppressed to maintain doctrinal control. Now feel the urgency. This isn't ancient history, it's a key to your spiritual understanding. What happened after the flood? The aftermath holds clues that lead straight to Og. After the flood, Noah's family repopulated the earth, but giant tribes like the Anakim emerged in Canaan. Where did they come from? Ancient traditions suggest the sin of the Watchers wasn't fully eradicated. Some giants survived, perhaps through Ham's lineage, leading to figures like Nimrod and the nations of Canaan. Og was one of the kings of the Rephaim in Bashan. When Moses defeated him, it was a pivotal victory, yet it's overshadowed by other stories. Why? Because Og's defeat symbolized cleansing the land of Nephilim influence, a truth too dangerous for broad teaching. His bed, 9 cubits long, is a numeric echo through his story, a silent scream of celestial rebellion. The aftermath of the Watcher's fall continued through these remnant giants. Their presence was a constant reminder of cosmic chaos, and God commanded Israel to wipe them out, but they didn't fully succeed. Goliath, a Philistine giant later, likely descended from the Anakim, but he wasn't the biggest. Og was bigger, and his story is the key to understanding the ongoing spiritual war. You were made for this truth, to connect dots in the chaos. But there's hidden testimony that fills gaps. Books banned, burned, buried. What do they reveal? The Book of Enoch, the Book of Giants, texts that name giants and detail their sins. Stay with me. The hidden testimony is coming, and it will shatter your perceptions. The hidden testimony comes from the Apocrypha. The Book of Enoch, written centuries before Christ, details the Watcher's fall, Nephilim birth, and destruction.
It was quoted by Jude but excluded from the canon. Why? It presents a messy cosmology that challenged orthodoxy. Enoch describes giants hundreds of feet tall, devouring humans, drinking blood, beings of pure chaos. The Book of Giants from the Dead Sea Scrolls names them Ma, Ohia, Hakya. They dreamed of judgment and sought Enoch's interpretation, forbidden knowledge.
These texts were suppressed by rabbinical and Christian authorities. They didn't want you to know angels could fall so drastically or giants were real. But the evidence survived. In 1947, Dead Sea Scrolls included Book of Giants fragments, a bombshell confirming ancient belief. OG in these texts connects to Rephaim, often linked to the dead or underworld, adding a spiritual layer, giants tied to demonic forces. You were made for this truth, to see the Bible as part of a larger tapestry deliberately trimmed. Why? Full knowledge empowers you, showing the spiritual war is real. The keepers of these texts risked everything. Who were they? Communities like the Essenes at Qumran, early Christian Gnostics, mystics through history. They preserved truth against suppression. When councils like Nicaea defined the canon, Enoch was excluded, deemed too esoteric. But keepers copied in secret, hid in caves, transmitted orally. They believed this knowledge essential for understanding corruption and redemption. You are part of this lineage. If you feel made for hidden truth, write in comments what shook you and share this video. Your voice helps this buried story reach those who need it. Now, how did this truth resurface in modern times? The keepers ensured evidence survived, and in the modern era, their efforts bore fruit. The Dead Sea Scrolls discovery in 1947 revolutionized biblical scholarship. For the first time, scholars accessed ancient Hebrew texts confirming Enoch's popularity and giant narratives. Fragments of the Book of Giants surfaced, showing widespread belief in giant beings in Second Temple Judaism. Then, Nag Hammadi Library in 1945 revealed Gnostic texts with similar themes. These discoveries forced reevaluation. Nephilim and Watchers were integral to biblical authors' worldview. Yet this knowledge hasn't trickled down to pews. Why? Institutions protect doctrinal stability. They didn't want you to know, but evidence is undeniable. Archaeological finds, though disputed, hint at giant skeletons. Ancient structures like Baalbek's megaliths suggest knowledge of colossal beings. The deeper truth, biblical narrative, is incomplete without these texts. They contextualize why God judged the world, why giants were enemies, why Christ's redemption is cosmic. This isn't academic, it's transformative. Your faith can embrace a fuller, mysterious reality. But what does it mean theologically? Implications will blow your mind. The giant narrative reveals cosmic war, order versus chaos, purity versus corruption. Watchers violated divine boundaries, hybrids disrupted creation. God's responses? Flood, laws against mixing, command to destroy giants, emphasize holiness as separation. Og embodies chaos. His defeat prefigures Christ's victory over demonic forces. New Testament demons may be Nephilim spirits. Gospel isn't just personal sin, it's restoring cosmic order. Suppressed stories highlight full severity and redemption's grandeur. You were made for this truth, to see the big picture, but it has personal stakes. What does it mean for you? Your calling awaits. Your calling is to embrace this hidden truth and let it transform your spiritual journey. You are not a passive believer. You're a seeker of depths.
Knowing about Og and Nephilim empowers you to see the Bible as dynamic, layered. It invites questioning, exploring, connecting with mystical traditions. This knowledge deepens faith, making it resilient and authentic. You may face opposition from those preferring simple narratives, but remember, keepers faced worse. They preserve truth against odds. You are part of that legacy. Your hunger for hidden knowledge is a sign you're meant to receive this. Use it to grow in wisdom and compassion. Share with discernment. But warning, truth comes with responsibility. It challenges you to live aware of spiritual war, to put on God's full armor, as Paul says, for our struggle isn't against flesh and blood, but spiritual forces. Og was a physical giant, but real giants are spiritual pride, anger, greed. You're called to overcome them, and evidence is still out there waiting. What physical traces confirm this? Ancient skeletons reported worldwide, though mainstream archaeology dismisses many. Yet credible accounts exist. 19th century Smithsonian reports of large skeletons in Native American mounds, now obscured. Ancient structures like Bashan's walls, built with massive stones, hint at great strength. The Bible itself is archaeological evidence. Descriptions align with history. OG's bed, if real, was a tangible artifact. While no bed found, the detail is specific, consistent with ancient Near Eastern king memorials. Dead Sea Scrolls are physical proof, manuscripts cherished for millennia. They didn't want you to know, but evidence survived. You can visit museums, see scroll fragments, read translations. This isn't myth, it's history recorded by witnesses. But why such effort to suppress? Who opposed this truth? The opposition came from religious authorities standardizing belief.
Early church fathers like Augustine cautioned against apocrypha, fearing speculation and heresy. Councils, Laodicea, Carthage, adjusted texts, excluding Enoch. Books burned, copies destroyed. Motive, control to present a unified, manageable narrative. Giant stories with angelic rebellion and hybrids complicated orderly creation and sovereign God. They introduced cosmic dualism, challenging monotheism, so suppressed, but underground streams kept them alive. In Middle Ages, giants persisted in folklore and mysticism. Opposition continues today where questioning canon is taboo, but truth cannot be buried forever. Now you know what they feared. The question, what will you do? Accept this knowledge or reject it? Your decision has eternal implications. Accepting means acknowledging Bible's hidden depths, faith handling complexity. It means joining seekers who looked beyond surface. Rejecting means staying in safe territory, but your soul yearns for more. You were made for this truth. I urge you, embrace it. Study Apocrypha, engage scholarship, pray for discernment, share revelation with others searching. Be prepared for backlash. Not everyone will understand, yet your courage can inspire. If this journey opens your eyes and you want me to keep bringing dangerous sacred stories, tell me in comments what changed and follow this channel. Your presence is the sign to continue uncovering what they tried to bury. Now, the final revelation, ultimate meaning of Og's story, the final unveiling. Og wasn't just a giant, he was a symbol of enduring chaos, defeated by God's chosen leaders. His 9 cubits height points to 9 ranks of angels, suggesting celestial origin. His iron bed signifies sin's unyielding nature until overcome by divine force. Og's defeat by Moses prefigured Christ's triumph over death and hell. In end, biggest Bible giant isn't Goliath, but Og, and his story teaches no chaos is too great for God to conquer.
The one they never teach you is a testament to hidden struggles within Scripture, inviting you to dig deeper, seek full truth. You've now met Og. You know his significance. Let this knowledge empower you to face your giants, spiritual and physical, with faith and courage. Evidence survived for you. They didn't want you to know, but now you do. Go forth. Live in this revelation's light. Share it. Cherish it. Let it transform you. This journey ends, but yours begins. Remember, you were made for this truth. The evidence survived. They didn't want you to know. Now, act. As you reflect, realize this isn't mere history, it's a living legacy. Og's shadow stretches into your life, challenging you to confront giants of doubt, fear, and complacency. The same forces that suppressed his story still operate in dogmas that limit spiritual exploration. But you have a choice: to accept sanitized versions or dive into the dangerous, beautiful depths. Physical traces may be debated, but the textual evidence is incontrovertible. Dead Sea Scrolls, apocryphal books, biblical verses, all whisper Og's name. They didn't want you to know because knowledge is power. Now you hold that power. Use it to deepen your relationship with the divine, to see Scripture as a conversation, not a monologue. Share this with others. Build a community of seekers. Your journey matters. You were made for this truth. The evidence survived for this moment. Don't let it fade. Comment below, share this video, and follow for more revelations. Together we uncover what was buried. This is just the beginning. The opposition's roots run deep, from ancient councils to modern seminaries that avoid apocrypha. Why? Because stories like Og's challenge control. They introduce mystery where certainty is preferred. But mystery is where faith grows. By embracing Og, you reclaim a narrative of cosmic struggle and redemption. It's a thriller with eternal stakes. You're not just learning, you're participating in a resistance against spiritual amnesia. The keepers risked all. Now you honor them by carrying this truth forward. Physical evidence beyond scrolls. Consider cultural memories, global myths of giants, megalithic structures that defy explanation. They point to a shared subconscious memory of a time when giants walked. Og is a key to that memory. They didn't want you to know, but here you are. Your decision now shapes your path. Will you be a keeper or a bystander? The urgence is close. Stay with me. There's more to uncover. Your decision is a crossroads. Accepting Og's story means embracing a faith that's wild, mysterious, and unafraid of shadows. It means seeing the Bible as a battlefield where light and darkness clash, with giants as tangible manifestations. Rejecting it means clinging to a simplified version that may not sustain deep hunger. But you've come this far. Your soul is stirring. You were made for this truth. I challenge you. Let it reshape you. Study, pray, connect. If this journey is opening your eyes and you want me to keep bringing dangerous sacred stories like this, tell me in comments what changed for you and follow this channel. Your presence here is the sign to continue uncovering what they tried to bury. Now the final piece, how this transforms your daily spiritual walk. The transformation. Og's tale teaches that giants, whether physical or spiritual, are meant to be faced with faith. Your personal giants, addiction, despair, isolation, are modern Nephilim, echoes of ancient chaos. But like Moses defeating Og, you have divine strength. This knowledge isn't for idle curiosity, it's for warfare. The evidence survived so you could stand taller in your battles. They didn't want you to know, but now you do. Use it. Live boldly. Love deeply. Seek truth relentlessly. Share this video. Spark conversations. You are part of a lineage of truth-tellers. This is the end of our narrative, but the start of your action. Go forth, Giant Slayer. The world needs your courage.